to the Prophecy Club. I'm going to give you today what I did not get time to put into my DVD. Now, as you guys know, I just made a new DVD, which a lot of people are saying that may be one of the best DVDs made at the Prophecy Club. And when you've had 150 speakers make some 300 DVDs, that's saying something. A lot of folks are saying this is really, really a good and an important DVD to have. Now, what I'm going to do in this broadcast is, first of all, give you a brief little overview, and I'm going to encourage you to do two things. One is to get the DVD, but also to call in and place your order for some emergency food. As I've told you before, Mina Grebin was told that the Lord told her that she needed to have 1 year's worth of food and water, and she needed to have those preparations before the end of the summer. Now, 2 Chronicles 20:20 says, "Believe God's prophets, and so shall you prosper." So if you want to do well, you'll be well to listen to what the prophets are saying. So if you'd like to get more information on our emergency food, you can do that by calling 800-924-7110 or prophecyclubfood.com. Plan A is food, 1 person 1 year. Plan B, 1 person 6 months. Plan C, 1 person 3 months, or grab and go that has 76 servings in it. All you got to do is add water. 800-924-7110 or prophecyclubfood.com. Now, if you want to get this DVD that I'm strongly recommending you get, the name of it is called 2014 to 2021. And there's a reason I gave it that name, because those are the things that the 2 cows, and I've been talking about that, the 2 cows and the 13 modern prophecies are saying is going to happen in the near future between the years 2014 and 2021. Now, let me give you the bullet points. Then I'm going to jump to the slides in the DVD that I did not get to in the DVD. Okay, topics are, first of all, I must say everything in this DVD is in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. Not all of it is scriptural. Not all of it, matter of fact, none of it comes from me or Leslie. This only comes from other people, other prophets, other holy servants of God, where at least 2, many times 3, sometimes 4, 5, and 6 people are saying the same things. So, again, if you believe the Bible says in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let a thing be established. So, what do they say? Here are the bullet points. September 25th, 2014 started, past tense, started the last 7 years of plenty. September 25th, 2015, according to Lindsey Williams, the Pope is scheduled to announce the New World Order. In other words, world government. He's going to issue an eclectical, if I'm saying that right. Anyway, it's an order, basically, within the Catholic Church saying everybody got to obey this. Now, the reason I say that I have confirmation on that is I looked it up, and yep, sure enough, the Pope is scheduled to speak at the UN on September 25th, 2015. So we will watch that. The next point is the 7-year tribulation will be the years 2022 to 2028. I know that's making a very big statement, but I got some very big reasons why I say that. Again, get the DVD and I'll explain it. Next bullet point, global currency reset hits this fall. Welfare checks will stop going out to the people. Then protesters start burning the cities. Martial law will be declared by Obama. Obama stays in office for 5 more years. The Constitution will be suspended. There will be no 2016 presidential election. Civil rights are gone. Local militias fire at Obamamen. Dumitru's internal revolution prophecy comes to pass, the one where he said some of the people will start fighting against the government. And then Obama confiscates the weapons. Then an unarmed America is attacked by Russia, Cuba, Nicaragua, Central America, Mexico, and 2 other countries. And in 1 day, 1 hour, such great riches will come to naught. And Terry Bennett was told that that date that we fall is 2021. Then Christian martyrdom begins, and the New World Order and the tribulation is in place. All right, now, let me go to the slides that I did not get to in my DVD. Now, let me explain. I had made, let me see, 201 slides. I knew I'd made more than I was going to have time to get to, but since we have 2.5 hours actual speaking time maximum in each one of our DVDs, I wanted to, as of course everybody wants to, give you the very best information I could, the most information per minute I possibly could. Well, these are some of the slides I'd made, but I didn't get time to cover. So, headline, Freedom Over. Vision, newspaper. America's freedom is over. And Mina Grebin saw a silhouette which was of a future president that was from Chicago. April 2008, she says she had a dream that Obama is the person to fulfill, quote, the scripture, power was given him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given in him a great sword. Okay, let's talk about that. What's that saying? It's saying that the tribulation is here, because that particular scripture, that's Revelation 6, and that takes place during the 7-year tribulation, as in Obama is still in power after America falls. And if T.D. Hale was really hearing from God in his particular dream, he says in his dream, again, I'm not covering that right now. I've covered that in another broadcast. Again, get the DVD, and he'll explain it. But he basically says that Obama is not only in office when America falls, but is complicit, cooperative, and rejoices at our fall. So when it says, power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given him a great sword. What's the great sword? Well, that would be control of the United States military. That's a pretty good-sized sword. And this is the guy that currently is taking peace from the earth. He's the guy that's over sticking his finger in the eye of the Russian bear, making them angry right now. She went on to say, and this is in spring of 2014, she said, I saw a rider on a black horse riding across the months, now listen carefully, September, October, November, and December 2015. A day's wages for a loaf of bread. Many small businesses will fail in 2015. Those depending upon the government will fall. The housing market will crash again. Warn the people, those who know me will be sustained, but not everyone who says they belong to me actually belongs to me. Again, that's Mina Grebin. Now, when she says September, October, November, December 2015, that's this fall. And that's the reason she was told that she needed to get 12 months or a year's worth of food and water stored up. This is from Neville Johnson, and this topic is talking about world religion, i.e. the Pope. He says the present Pope will continue to rise in influence. I saw him addressing the UN. His emphasis will be peace and tolerance, as in tolerance of all religions. This will begin to lay the foundations for the rise of the false world church, which grew in political power and influence, framing legislation, now listen carefully, that will ban any religion that is not part of this false world church. Guys, we are in the last days. The tribulation's not here yet. Again, it starts in 2022, but it's very close. Now let's go on. We're still on the topic world religion and Pope. The Pope was on the throne, yelling with a loud voice, I have been given the power to rule the earth and to fight against the Protestants, that I may overtake them. These are the Catholic powers which will overtake the holy, that the words prophesied in Revelation may come to pass. The majority of my people will be overtaken and trampled, because their lives are not clean before their Lord. Dumitru. Now we're changing topics to the mark of the beast. Again, what do the modern prophets say about each of these topics? And what I've done is taken basically a collection of the modern prophets and what they say about each one of these topics, and then I announce the topic, and then I tell you what they've said about it. So this one is Mark of the Beast. This heavenly visitor also spoke to me, saying that within 7 years it will be impossible for Christians to buy or sell. That's Neville Johnson, and that was spoken last year. I saw multitudes of tribulation saints refusing to renounce Jesus as Lord. They were starving, many of them, but still refused to take the stamp on their bodies so they could eat and live. There was what looked like kiosks that were in every little town. They advertised food and water, only if you went inside them and took the electronic mark. Some went in, bowed down to the holographic movie image of the Antichrist, and were branded in their foreheads and their hands with an electronic tattoo-like stamp. That was from Maurice Sklar. More from him. He went on to say, when they came out, if they came out, they had a zombie-like look. Their minds and souls were gone. It looked like they had a spiritual lobotomy. Then these immediately joined the armies of those police units and were given weapons after they were fed and drank and rested in the kiosk. They were like robots doing the Antichrist's bidding. I knew that they were lost forever, but quite a few did not make it out. They were tortured mentally and physically inside the kiosk thing. But if they still refused the mark of the beast, there was a laser that shot through their brain and heart and sliced their heads off. Then they were immediately incinerated. Nothing but ashes remained. This was the most horrifying of all. It made the Nazi death camps look like a picnic, if that is possible. Millions of people were executed in this way via computer systems, automatically with such precision and efficiency that I marveled that something like this was even possible and could take place on such a large scale. That technology was more advanced than I had ever seen. By the way, this is all in his DVD when he spoke for the Prophecy Club, called Revelations for the Midnight Hour by Maurice Sklar. Then, back in 2000, we had Ken Peters speak. You would think. We'll be right back after this message. Legally, we can't guarantee this trouble will come this year, but of course, having emergency supplies is a good idea. Mina Grebin says she was told to have at least 1 year's food and supplies, including water, and you must have all preparations done by the end of the 2015 summer. She says, buy food and supplies. We offer Plan A, 3 meals a day, 1 person, 1 year. Plan B, 1 person, 6 months. Plan C, 1 person, 3 months, or a grab-and-go bucket with 72 meals. Call 800-924-7110 or go to prophecyclubfood.com. That's 800-924-7110 or prophecyclubfood.com. Lindsey Williams has just made his newest and perhaps his best DVD called Fall 2015 Preparations. That's right. Topics are events scheduled for September through December. Things the elite told me to do. Know what you're preparing for. Have an alternate location. Move or suffer. How to stay warm without electricity, and the date the New World Order will be implemented. You did hear that right. It's Fall 2015 Preparations. Call 785-266-1112 or go to prophecyclub.com. Call 785-266-1112 or go to prophecyclub.com. Fall 2015 Preparations by Lindsey Williams. Get it today. And now, back to the program. Back in 2000, we had Ken Peters speak. Now, you would think, well, who would want a DVD made in 2000? I tell you what, is still to this day one of my most popular DVDs. Still, I have people come up and talk about it and reference this DVD all the time. This is the first, last, and only time Ken Peters spoke of this dream. 35 years ago, he had a dream when he was called to be a prophet, in which he lived through the first 3.5 years of the tribulation. It was verified in many ways. He says that Christians were monitored. He saw the mark of the beast. He saw how it was introduced. He saw the Antichrist. And understand, out of 150 some odd speakers, 300 titles, this one continues to be very popular. Now, again, this is, unfortunately, you can't see this, but he was shown what the mark of the beast looks like. And I'm going to try to describe what he drew here. But it basically looks like a picture of that sun, you know, like the Mexico sun, where you see the lapping flames coming out in all directions around it. Then in the middle of that yellow sun, you see a right hand, and then between the thumb and the forefinger, you see another picture of the sun with another hand in it, with it wearing the tattoo. He said that the tattoo was not on the back of the hand as in the hard part. It was in the web between the thumb and the forefinger, and he said he did not see any chip, computer chip or anything like that attached to it. It was only ink on skin. And by the way, that would qualify for being the mark of the beast. Now let's change topics. This topic is America may be divided with a meteor and a resulting tsunami. Now, this is from Patricia Green. I interviewed her on the radio 3 or 4 months ago. She said, I saw a massive wave that was taller than the hotels and the buildings crash onto the beach. It towered above the tops of the buildings. The wave was hundreds of feet tall. Then Yeshua spoke the words to me, this wave will hit the East Coast. Warn the people to get out. This mighty wave will devastate coastal cities and will wash inland for many miles. Florida will be decimated. Washington, D.C. will be underwater. New York Harbor will flood the city. In North Carolina, the water will come as far in as the mountains. The water will not go beyond the Appalachian Mountains. I saw America in this state of being covered with floodwaters. Then all of a sudden I saw beams of light quickly coming out of the floodwaters like the speed of light, quickly going up into the air. Millions, it looked like. But at that moment, I was taken above the earth. Then I saw it around the world, possibly the prayers of the saints or the screams of millions of departing souls from the earth due to the flood. That was from T.D. Hale. Continuing with America may be divided by a meteor. Shane Warren said, I saw the new Madrid earthquake will divide America, and I heard the audible voice of God say, they divided my land, now I will divide their land. Michael Boldea was shown a giant earthquake will hit California. The Golden Gate Bridge will fall. Large parts of California will fall into the ocean. It affects 10 states, and they have to redraw the lines on the maps. That's how bad it is. This is Maurice Sklar. He says, that massive sword came smashing down on the Lady Liberty. When it hit the top of her head, there was a blinding flash of light, and that sword split her in two, right down the middle. Then the sword came again and again against her. It divided her in pieces. As the sword would finish each strike, fires would burst forth. I heard terrible explosions. The vision of the statue ended with an earthquake as it was hacked into pieces and sunk into the harbor. He went on to say, I saw the United States seem to crack in two with a giant earthquake, right down the middle. I saw the southeastern United States covered with a giant wave of water from the ocean. I saw a massive earthquake that just seemed to crack off the coast of California. It reminded me of a saltine cracker that just cracked in two. The great cities along the west coast just fell into the ocean, all the way from Mexico, all the way up to Alaska, and giant waves flooded inland until much of the west coast just simply wasn't there. It had disappeared into the Pacific Ocean, Maurice Sklar. And then, of course, the final thing I have to talk about when you talk about a meteor and a tsunami hitting, a couple of years ago, we had Ephraim Rodriguez in to make a DVD called Catastrophe, Meteor, Tsunami, and Earthquake. And I would highly recommend you go to prophecyclub.com and get that one too. He was shown a vision that a large meteor is going to hit Mona Island, which is a small uninhabited island just west of Puerto Rico, and cause a tsunami 1,000 feet high at Puerto Rico, but it goes up the eastern seaboard of America, and it will be from 200 to 400 foot high in various places, and will go inland anywhere from 20 to 100 miles. But where it hits is significant. It hits an earthquake fault which runs up the Mississippi River Valley up to the Great Lakes and will split America wide open from the Great Lakes all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico and cause much of the west coast from California to Alaska to fall into the ocean. Now, I need to say, he didn't say that part about California on the DVD, but he did tell me that privately in my office after he had videotaped it. So he did say that. So I'm the only testimony there. Now, here's the point. So he's going to come in. Again, in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let a thing be established. That's kind of a big thing. So I thought, look, if it's true, it's got to be in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. So I got on the internet, I started looking, and I found 6 people that saw a large meteor hit near Puerto Rico. Not China, not Germany, but near Puerto Rico. 4 people saw the tsunami hit the eastern coast of the United States. I found 6 people that saw America split into 2 pieces. 3 people saw large chunks of California fall into the ocean. And get this, 9 people saw that the split comes because America splits Israel. Meaning, and I want to believe that maybe if we get to praying hard enough when Obama starts pushing for Israel to give the Palestinians a state, maybe we can delay it. Now I got an email the other day that apparently is his goal. As soon as he gets done with the Iran negotiations, he's supposed to be then turning to twist Israel's arm to make them split Jerusalem. And if that happens, I'm going to be calling for all the folks across America to fast and pray, because if we split Israel, America will be split. God will split us. And you can get that DVD. It is called Meteor, The Destruction of America. And that's available at prophecyclub.com. Now let's go to the next topic: volcanoes, floods, and earthquakes. What have the prophets seen in the future concerning them? There will be dams that break, which flood the lands, and the people below. Hoover Dam will be one that breaks. Power supplies will be cut off to major cities. It will plunge people into darkness. I saw a vision of a huge ash cloud, and bits of debris were falling to the earth. I saw tall buildings crumbling to the earth in a heap of rubble, much like the Twin Towers collapse. I saw bridges collapsing and falling into the waters below. Causeways that connected islands to the mainland were collapsing, leaving people stranded on islands without food or supplies. I saw deep fissures in the earth's surface as a result of great earthquakes. Universities, colleges, and schools were shut down because of the national disasters. Many people were dying because medicines were scarce during this time. That was by Patricia Green. The landscape of America is about to change. There will be many signs. I will perform as a warning to your nation. The waterways will become poisonous. The hills will begin to tremble. The stars will lose their brilliance. Your sun will begin to emit flashes of radiation. Weather patterns will change. My hand is on the weather. These things will not happen by chance, because I will cause them to happen with my outstretched arm. Most meteorologists have an explanation for the weather phenomenon, but during this time, it will defy all human reasoning. Until people come to the realization that I am Yahweh and I am in control, they will be confused about the weather events that will occur on the earth. In the north, there will be warmer temperatures. In the south, there will be flooding. The west will be earthquakes. The east, the seas will roar with great extraordinary force. The central plains will see a great hurricane that will dump great amounts of rain. The landscape will change. Again, Patricia Green. The Appalachians will be the furthest point east from the Mississippi River expands its boundaries. The ocean will come as far as the Rockies in some areas. The Grand Canyon will begin to fill with water. Lake Michigan and Lake Huron will combine to form one large body of water. The geological plates will shift. That again, Patricia Green. This one is from Daisy Osborne. In a vision, I saw the face of the earth and the changing of the shape of America. It was drastically altered and reduced in size through terrible disasters. Hunger and suffering were everywhere. The devastation caused by volcanic eruptions and fires were widespread and horrifying during this terrible Holocaust. Then from Dumitru, tell my people that I tried to wake them up through powerful storms, fires, floods, earthquakes, but even then they would not wake up. I will send storms, heavy rains, flooding, earthquakes, hurricanes, and tornadoes because I want them to see my power. Well, brothers and sisters, time has run out, but let me encourage you to do 3 things. One is get the DVD 2014 to 2012 at prophecyclub.com. Then go to prophecyfood.com. Get yourself at least a year's worth of food and water for each person in your family. And third, go to prophecyclub.com and get Lindsey Williams' new DVD, Fall 2015 Preparations. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your prayers, and thank you for your gifts of support. God bless. Now from the Prophecy Club, some exciting opportunities for you. It's time for our summer blowout. You can get 20 DVDs for a gift of $160. That's only $8 each. 10 for a gift of $100. That's $10 each. 7 for a gift of $120. That's $17 each. 4 DVDs for a gift of $85. That's $21 each. Or 2 DVDs for a gift of $50. $25 each. But you got to call 785-266-1112. That's 785-266-1112. And the offer ends soon. Legally, we can't guarantee this trouble will come this year, but of course, having emergency supplies is a good idea. Mina Grebin says she was told to have at least 1 year's food and supplies, including water, and you must have all preparations done by the end of the 2015 summer. She says buy food and supplies. We offer Plan A, 3 meals a day, 1 person, 1 year. Plan B, 1 person, 6 months. Plan C, 1 person, 3 months, or a grab-and-go bucket with 72 meals. Call 800-924-7110 or go to prophecyclubfood.com. That's 800-924-7110 or prophecyclubfood.com. Order 2014 to 2021. It's the predictions of 2 cows and 13 modern prophecies. As Joseph interpreted Pharaoh's dream, I interpret these signs and prophecies to present a picture of what you can expect from 2014 to 2021. Now remember, all of this is in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. The topics are September 25th, 2014, and how it starts the last 7 years of plenty. September 25, 2015, and how the Pope plans to announce a new world order. Then from the years 2022 to 2028 will be the 7-year tribulation. That's a very big statement. Then there will be a global currency reset. Then welfare checks will stop. Protesters start burning the cities. Martial law then declared. Obama stays in office. The Constitution suspended. Local militias formed to combat the Obamamen. Gun confiscation is then ordered. That starts the internal revolution spoken of by Dumitru. Then Russia attacks America in a surprise nuclear attack. Then Christian martyrdom begins. It's 2.5 hours of some of the most important information in the last 20 years of this prophecy ministry. Call 785-266-1112 or prophecyclub.com. It's called 2014 to 2021. Call 785-266-1112 or prophecyclub.com. Order today. Come and go with the Prophecy Club to Israel. November 5 to 15, Leslie and I will take you on a biblical archaeology and a Bible prophecy tour. A tour like none other. What makes our tour different than the other tours? Well, we're going to take you to the traditional sites the other tours go on, but we're going beyond. We're going to show you the places and give you information other tours can't. In 1991, Leslie and I went on a tour with Ron Wyatt. He showed us archaeological secrets in Israel we're going to show to you, such as the iron spike that sealed the tomb of Jesus, proving Gordon's Calvary really is the tomb of Jesus. And you're going to pick up brimstone from the city of Gomorrah. You'll gather tar drips from the slime pits of Sodom. You'll visit the more likely birthplace of Jesus, not the one the tour buses stop at. In a special escort, you'll get to go behind the gates at the Garden of Gethsemane and pray. And if the drilling permit has been granted, we'll also go pray over the future drill sites for prophetic oil. Yes, you'll see many of the traditional sites, but this tour goes way beyond. Call 310-402-4042. That's 310-402-4042 for more information. Seating is limited. 310-402-4042.